No. Fix this one for me.
Okay, we're working. Okay, so let's do an explanation of how the AO Plus looks like. This is the original version. We may have different versions. Now we're doing other ones with a floor model, but it's the same idea. So this has 7 stages. Let me show you all the stages here. This is the first one, which is a mesh filter that removes sediment and particles so that the actual sediment filter does not clog. This will be the second stage. And then we have a CTO and GAC filter. In many cases, we put the CTO here, which I'm actually going to do that now. I'm going to swap that here. It's better to have the GAC first and then the CTO. The water then goes to the membrane, which is a high rejection rate membrane. It also wastes only 1 gallon for every gallon that people consume. So there's very little waste in comparison to the rest of the standard reverse osmosis systems. And then from there it goes to the tank, which is down here. So this is a holding tank. From the holding tank, whenever you open the faucet, which is up here, whenever you open that faucet, the pressurized tank, which is down here again, pushes the water through this tube and it goes through the alkaline filter. So this has ORP, oxidation rate potential, and very high quality minerals, potassium, magnesium, calcium, so forth. And then the water goes out into this last filter, the T33 filter, and through this blue line, which is going up the spigot. This piece down here is a leak stopper, which means that if this gets wet, this napkin, which is compressed, you see extra ones here. We normally put it up here or somewhere hanging so it doesn't get wet. But those are spare ones in case you ever need it, because if this floor gets wet, this compressed napkin will expand and pushes this lever up. So right now this is how it's supposed to be working. And if you push it up, basically it turns off the water from going through it, which means there's no more water going to the filter. So this way you can avoid a flood or anything like that. And then the other piece here is a pure indicator, which basically allows us to test the water and make sure that it's pure. When you press the button, it should say good with a green light. If it says red service, then you have to call us, and that means that the membrane is defective or there's minerals leaching back from the alkaline minerals that this is detecting. So it could be one or the other. But basically this is only monitoring this filter, not the other filters at all whatsoever, just this filter, nothing else. Okay, so here's where it's connected to. So I'm gonna start running the system. So I open the valve going in. As you can see, the leak stopper is still in on position, so I'm gonna turn that off. And you hear the water running. This red tube is the drain connection. So we connected here. This is the adapter that we had. We had to drill a little hole behind it so that the wastewater will go down here. That's whatever is rejecting, and that's going to the drain. In this case, it's going through the disposal first and then the drain. Okay, so now so right now the system is on flush mode. This valve here is for flushing purposes only. So you hear the water running, and we already flushed this filter. So what we do is we put this we turn it off actually, on off position, which means that now water is not going to go through that valve. It's going to go forced into the membrane and into the tank. Lastly, what's up here is a permeate pump. So that pump is a hydraulic pump which works under pressure, and you hear it clicking. See that click? Okay, so that click means that it's actually producing water, and what happens is that it's extending the life of the membrane, is making it faster, producing faster water. It's also minimizing creeping so that there's no higher content of contaminants in the beginning when the water starts to run. And lastly, it makes everything work in synchrony. So it's gonna fill up much quicker, put more pressure on the tank as well. All right, so this little star is just the base, so that in the event that this gets wet in the floor, you don't want this metal tank to sit on water, because then it'll start to rotten a little bit. So we put it on top of this stand, just like so. Right now it's making water.
Let's just taste
And
the
I'm
water.
going to, yes, I'm going to turn on the tank because right now it's been closed. I'm going to turn it on. Once the tank is full, the pump is going to stop because that means there's no need to make more water. It's only clicking when it's making water. So now let's go up here and let's give it a taste.
You want to taste the water? Come on.
All right, get a
Be the
glass.
first one.
Like that?
I'll
Yeah.
get a glass.
Sure. And it is fresh water.
It's filtered, then purified, then enhanced with minerals and make it alkaline
So like
water.
all whole entire fresh water. Like
Mm-hmm.
where do I?
So just move the lever towards the back. There you go.
And then
It's gonna be a little cloudy in the beginning. See how it's cloudy right now?
yeah.
That's because there's air trapped in the filter, so it's a brand new filter, but that's actually gonna dissipate. It's safe to drink, but if you want, just take a look. Take a look before you drink it
I mean,
to see
yeah.
how it starts to
Here
disappear.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like a little smoke.
Mm-hmm. So it's just air, which means it's a good thing because the filter is doing the thing that it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It actually tastes much more better than normal water.
Right?
Like different type of water.
Have you tasted like bottled water? What do you compare it with? Like, what do you think about bottled water in this?
I feel like this is a little better
Mm-hmm.
because it's like more fresh.
Feels fresh. Very good. All right. What's your name?
Abiella?
Aviela. Very good. Great name. Well, what do you think, Aviela? You think you're gonna be drinking more water now?
Oh,
Awesome.
yeah.
Definitely.
All right.
And now you can take glass bottles instead
Yes. Yes.
of
Absolutely.
plastic.
So you see, whenever this is green, that means that the system is working effectively.
Yeah. So like just press it like right here.
Mm-hmm. If you ever feel like it's not tasting right, maybe it has to do because there's medication in the mouth, or maybe food from before.
But
And
what if it says like the red one?
then you have to call us,
Mhm.
because then we tell you what to do to see if it's really the filter or if it's something else, and then we come here and replace the filter.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Enjoy.